Love, your window into the future of spirituality. We're going to talk to you about your life and the evolution of your soul while we bring alive the essence of eternal truth. So here is your host, the author of You Are What You Love, Vaishali.
Welcome to another exciting adventure of You Are What You Love, and I'm Vaishali, the wild child of the airwaves. I am your Beyond Karma Queen of radio and literature, and as you know, I'm the author of the book You Are What You Love, the playbook to You Are What You Love, and my third and most newly released book, Wisdom Rising. And you can learn more about my books by going to Amazon.com. Just put in Wisdom Rising or You Are What You Love, and you can order the books, or you can order the books on CD. And there are a number of reviews to give you an idea of how well people are enjoying the books. Or you can go to my website, which is, of course, the most beautiful purple website in all of Internet land, which is Purple V. V as in Violet, V as in Vaishali, purplev.com. I've been hoping for quite some time now that my new website would be up by this time, and it is teetering on emerging. It should hopefully be up by sometime either this weekend or next week. So I would like to encourage you, especially if you haven't been to purplev.com in a while, to visit Purple V, V as in Violet, over the weekend or sometime in the upcoming week. It is done by some extraordinarily creative people. There is some flash animation on it that will absolutely blow you away. It is the most cutting-edge website in all of Internet land. So now it will not only be the most beautiful purple website in all of Internet land, it'll be the most cutting-edge website in all of Internet land. So hopefully I have sufficiently titillated you to make a note to go to purplev.com over the weekend or sometime over the upcoming week. And you are also welcome to join me in the chat room. I'm live in the chat room right now. You can join me in the chat room by coming to ctrchat.com. And you can text message questions that you have, or just let us know that you're enjoying the show. And as you know, today my guest is an extraordinary person. And he's a person who's very near and dear to my heart. And his story appeared in my book, You Are What You Love, at the end of Chapter 8. And he's been a recent guest on Coast to Coast. He was the only guest recently in April for the entire 3 hours, because as I have frequently advertised the man, he is inexhaustibly fascinating. And I know we even have some people in the chat room already chomping at the bit to talk to my guest. So, without further teasing, I don't know if I can do that. I probably have to tease you more. It's just my way. I would like to introduce to you my guest. He is the remarkable Mellen-Thomas Benedict. And one of the things that I rarely say about my guests is that they died in 1982 of terminal cancer. But I can boast that of my guest today. He died in 1982 of terminal inoperable brain cancer. And, of course, he's on the show to tell you about it today. When he died, he was without vital signs for at least an hour and a half that we know of before he returned to his body. He is absolutely the most studied near-death case experience in the world. And during the course of the show, you will hear us refer to near-death experience as NDE. That's what that means. And he is about to release his own books. His story has been told many times. For example, as I mentioned, his story appears in Chapter 8 of my book. But this is the first time he will be writing about his experience in his own words since this event happened. And I want to encourage you to run, don't walk, to his website, which is Mellen. And you would spell that Mellen Thomas.com. And once you are on Mellen-Thomas.com, you will be able to get a sneak preview of the covers of his books. The first one is Journey Through the Light and Back, and the second one is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Other Side, or What to Do When You Wake Up Dead. And if you click on the cover of his books, which are stunningly gorgeous, by the way, no surprise there, they will take you to an Amazon page where you can pre-order his books so that when they become available in September, they will immediately be shipped to you. So without further delay, let me introduce my incredible guest, Mellen-Thomas Benedict. Mellen, my love, welcome to your Friday.
Hi, thanks for having me back on. It's always fun to be on the airwaves with you.
Oh, honey, you totally rock my world. And I want to let our listening audience know that if you have a question for Mellen-Thomas, you're welcome to call in. We are live today, and this toll-free number to the studio is 877-230-3062. Again, if you have questions, you're welcome to call in at 877-230-3062. And Mellen, you and I get to play together this year. We're going to be, you very rarely do live personal appearances, but you're going to do Omega with me at the end of August, the beginning of September.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. That looks like it'll be a lot of fun.
I was going to say, how fun is that, boyfriend? And what, when people come to our Omega event, would it be helpful for them to have, well, I guess your books will just be coming out at that time, so it'll be kind of hard for them to have purchased it and read it ahead of time. But what might they expect if they go to your website? And by the way, you can sign up for the event with Mellen and I by going to his website, Mellen, Mellen-Thomas.com, or by going to my website. But I'd love for you to see the beautiful covers of his book on his website. What might people expect if they want to sign up for the workshop, sweetheart? What will you be exposing them to?
Well, some of the most important messages and things I learned on the other side have still not been put on the Internet. So I'd say maybe 90% of my story is still unknown. That's because my story has been evolving. It's like I've never stopped going back to the light. So in one way, it's like my near-death experience never stopped and has not stopped to this day. So tremendous amount more of information, I think, from a different perspective. So, we'll really get into a different perspective of, where did we come from? Why are we here? Where are we going? And that's fascinating, where we're going. And then, is there life after death? We will actually get into what I would call a mini course that I have on the advanced near-death experience. And the getting into aspects from the emotional to the quantum physics event, which the near-death experience is. I can also explain what happens in the near-death experience as a quantum physics event, which is just as magical as any mystical experience you could talk about.
One of the things that amazed me about your story is you knew the morning that you were going to die. You knew you were leaving. How did you know that?
Well, I've done hospice work since my near-death experience as a volunteer from time to time, and there's a certain knowing you have. Soldiers have known this in wars. Mothers have known it about their children. It's hard to explain, but there's a certain knowing that today's your day or that the moment is close. And when I was in my hospice care situation, I woke up one morning and just knew. I just knew I was going to die that day. And it was actually not scary. It was actually rather peaceful feeling after all this, deterioration of my body and my, going into my death.
Were you in pain?
Not as much pain as some cases. Pains would come and go, but a deterioration. I actually wanted to die because I'm someone who really believed the world was going to end in my lifetime anyway, and so I had sort of, in one way, felt I was beating the rush at the end of time, so to speak, and but had no spiritual background to say, and having been raised for a number of years in a Catholic boarding school didn't give me a foundation to believe in God at all, so I wasn't even interested in that subject. So basically, it's one of those experiences in which you don't know what's coming. You don't even have any hope. I had no hope at all. My hope was that when I died, the light would go out and that would be it.